Eugene II. Once again, Doctor, I must implore you that I am not insane. Right after the incident, I went home. I could not believe he was still alive. Or was he alive? The following weeks, I started to see Eugene more frequently, and not just in my dreams. He was always around me. He asked me why I hated him. He wanted to get inside my head, so I locked him inside a freezer and cut his legs off with a saw. Then I waited a while and took him out of the freezer after his body had froze up. I chopped his head and arms off and stuck them inside of a bag. I separated the parts in different bags to keep the weight down and threw the body in the dumpster. Sometimes he would knock on my door right as rain again, as if nothing happened. Or sometimes he would be hiding in the closet or under my bed with a knife in his hand. He would stab up trying to poke holes through the mattress. Or he would be sitting next to me the next morning, eating cereal. He stared at me with those stone-gray eyes, not even a smile. Why does he always have to look at me with that face? Never had he even smiled and gave me any explanation to why he was callous and cold and mean to me. So I strangled him, broke his legs and arms, and threw him into an oven till he burned to a crisp. Only his yells and cries gave me satisfaction at this point. But it only lasted briefly until I found him the next day, asking the same question he asked me every day. I don't know why I hate him, but I do. So I electrocuted him. When that didn't work, I dragged him with me up the elevator. At the 108th floor, I took him up to the roof and threw him off the building. I watched, smiling, as his body flew down into a car and smashed into nothingness. Bits and pieces of metal and glass crushed inside of his body. But Eugene never learns. For the very next day, he was at my house again.
"Why do you hate me?"
he asked.
"All I ever did was ask you for my medicine, and you couldn't even do that right."
I had enough. Maybe if I gave him a reason, any one reason at all, he would just go away. Everyone hates you. It's not just me. You're cold and evil and inconsiderate of others. Your face is hideous. You smell. Most of all, it's that terrified look you always give me. Leave me alone. Eugene looked up at him and responded,
"That's no reason to kill somebody now, is it?"
So I went to the garage and got a nozzle. Then I went to my car, filled up a tank of gas, went back up to Eugene, poured the gasoline all over him, and set him on fire with a match. He yelled in flames, setting everything else on fire, so I struck him down and mixed in lighter fluid so he would burn faster. The pile of ashes lying there wasn't enough. He had to be more dead than he was now to satisfy me. I took the ashes in a vase and spent my entire life savings, scattering his body across all parts of the ocean. Surely, this time he had to stay dead. I went to Europe to scatter some ashes, to China, to Antarctica, Australia, Hawaii, Cuba, Russia. An entire world trip to spread the ashes. Now it would be impossible. I even buried some of them in Egypt. He would trouble me no more. If that's true, then why is he here having supper with me? He isn't supposed to be eating my food, sleeping in my bed, following me to work. Police have grown tired of me telling them this story, and even when I show Eugene standing right next to me, they do nothing. So I was surprised when they showed up at my door. Only they were attacking me, not Eugene. I wasn't going to let him get away with this. I had been set up. I tried to get up, frantic. They did whatever they could to me. Why were they doing this? I was thrown down, pepper sprayed, beaten, and cuffed. The last thing I remember was waking up here in the town for maniacs. But you have the wrong person. If you're trying to pin me for Eugene's murder, that's impossible, because he's still with me. He's right here now as I write this letter. So what am I held accountable for? My daughter is coming over in a few short moments, And she is going to explain everything to me. Maybe she can find a way to get rid of Eugene. At least, that's what I thought at the time. She came over crying. Was she mistreated like I was? I sat down beside her, wondering what they did to her. Then she began to speak. "Dad," she said, "I don't know why you're doing this, but you have to stop this madness." "What madness?" "I haven't done anything wrong," I replied. "Yes, you have," she insisted. "Now, listen to me. I don't know why you stopped taking your medication, but you've been daydreaming. You have a condition, remember? That's why we put you on the prescription, because you couldn't tell the difference between what's real and what isn't real. Remember your personality disorder? You started talking to a guy named Greg, someone middle-aged with a normal house and family. Now that I thought about it, this woman wasn't my daughter. Who put this person up to this? I yelled and shouted and asked for my real daughter, but they wouldn't give her to me. Instead, this phony kept insisting it was her. "Get out of here," I said. "Curse you, Eugene. Look what trouble you have caused. Why do you hate me so?" "Dad," she said once more, "the real question isn't why do you hate Eugene or why Eugene hates you. The real question is, why do you hate yourself? You're Eugene." My eyes widened. I was tired of listening to this woman, but I tried to play it off so I could get a chance to be free again. I played their games for a while. I waited, and little by little, pretending I was getting better. Although there was nothing wrong with me, I knew what their plan was. I was even smart enough to hide the poison they were trying to feed me, like the ones they give to all the prisoners here in this madhouse. I figured if I'd been good long enough, I would be able to be released from this madhouse, since in fact I killed no one if they were trying to convince me that I was Eugene. He stared at me with that gruesome face even now, as if saying he had won. He was trying to tempt me again, to strike at him, so I gave him exactly what he wanted. Anything, if you put your mind to it, can be used as a weapon. For example, the bed springs inside the mattress. Every day I would take a piece and unwind the coils. With the same coil, I would attach razor blades I found one night while sneaking into the storage. Even the security here is so busy that they can't focus on everyone 24/7, especially if you create a distraction. I used 2 empty box springs to make this work. I wanted Eugene to really suffer this time and get out of my head, even if it was just for a few moments. That's why I spent so much time planning this out, carefully setting it up for the right day. Every night I would take mouse traps that the guards used to keep the mice away. This gave my trap the perfect trigger mechanism. One day, while getting up to have breakfast, I said with a cheerful smile, "Hey, Eugene, I have something to show you." Fool didn't know what he was in for. He actually got up and followed me. Then I made sure I walked right over the trap. I knew he would fall for it, and he did. He stepped on the right box spring, and it set off the left box spring. Both of them rose up to meet each other, and as they did, they sliced Eugene right down the center. Blood just burst out, and once more I heard his pleading cries. But it was music to my ears. I watched every second of it. He struggled to get loose from the razors, but the more he moved, the more they sliced down his body. The residue made its way to the floor, spiraling down beautifully. The razors cut more and more into his organs as he squirmed for the pain to stop, anything to release him from it. But the pain continued, and I was overjoyed. I could not at that moment be any happier after his relentless days of tormenting me. I just wished it lasted longer. I was even smart enough to design the trap to latch on and lock in from the sides and top of the box springs when it closed. This way, not even the guards dressed in white could save him, and tried they did. But all was useless. They just shook the cage more, and his body sunk down over the blade and cut in deeper. I loved it. But then they tried to play their games with me again. The same woman they tried to trick me with before came back. Her eyes were bloodshot and she looked worse than before. Her skin was now pale, as if she had seen a ghost. "Dad," she said once more, "you're doing this to yourself. These visions are not real, but the murders are." "What murders are you talking about?" I asked. I decided to play the same game with her, and this, if anything, provided me some entertainment. "The person you just killed, the mental patient trapped inside the box springs, he died because of you. The neighbors next door to you, their feet and legs were cut off. Joseph, your son, my brother, burned alive because of you. Your cousin thrown off a 108th-floor building." Now, what scared me wasn't the fact that she was accusing me of killing these people. It was the fact that she knew all the ways I killed Eugene. I never discussed it with anyone, and it brought shivers to my body. I needed more proof. This couldn't be happening, and I couldn't allow this witch to cast any more of her dreadful spells on me. I almost fell for it. Then she threw another bombshell on me. She found my secret paintings I only kept to myself. I always paint my work after I killed Eugene. But the people that were screaming in these pictures were not Eugene. In them, I saw my cousin, my next-door neighbor, and my son. This was black magic of the darkest kind, and I wasn't going to stand for it. I was even going to strike down the woman where she stood, but I froze. In these pictures, I saw my signature, the same signature I used in all my paintings. Then, in fact, this had to be mine. But could this be? I broke down in front of this woman and even claimed her as my own daughter. Her powers were unimaginable. But now, I know better. This is why I demanded to be released. Why, just a few moments ago, Eugene came by and spoke to me. Now, maybe it's the fact that I know that once you read this letter, you'll release me soon. But for some reason, I feel like being exceptionally nice to Eugene today, and I'll just have to live with that fact that he's going to be bothering me for all eternity. Or maybe I can just find a way to get rid of him after I get out of here. "Do you know why you killed me yet?" he asked. "I never killed you," I said. "The truth is, I wish I knew how to kill you, but I don't." "You would have to kill yourself in order to do that," he responded. "That's why I poisoned your coffee 5 minutes ago. You should start feeling the effects soon enough." And then he just walked out. That's the first time. Sorry about that. That's the first time ever that he's walked away from me. I've never seen him do that before. But what a crazy idea. It must be. He isn't even real. A fictional person can't kill. Can't kill you. I'm going to get some rest now. Not feeling too well. I need to get better. Better. Before I can get free. Released from jail. No, from this institution. Yeah. God, what? Rests. Going on.